Hi, welcome to my channel where we question everything. Today's topic is why I disagree with the Duran again. And I'm disagreeing with the topic of the video. Germany says it knows who sabotaged Nord Stream, and it was published on the 17th of October, and I will leave a link in the description to it. Now, what should I say? Is this now bollocks or what? What are they talking about? Have I missed something? I've Googled and Googled and Googled and Googled and couldn't find any article that says that Germany has withdrawn from the investigation because they know who the culprits were. Where did they get this information from? The Denmark and Swedish and the Germans are having a joint investigation of the matter. Sweden has said that they're not going to divulge all the information due to national security. But they are still working, they have still stated that they are working together. And I'm talking about the Reuters and New York Times and even RT and even the other pro-Russian punters. Nobody talks about that Germany knows who are the culprits. The investigation is still going on. There are now some footage being made available of a small drone submarine that took some videos of the damage to the pipes. And that's it. And as I've stated in my previous videos, this is no ordinary crime scene. This is underwater where there are currents and where it's dark and difficult to get to. So this is not a surface type of crime scene where you can pick up items and you can look at fingerprints and do chemical analysis and all this other stuff on explosives. Except, as I've stated in one of my videos, there's one pipeline that hasn't been blown up. And one has to ask yourself, why wasn't it blown up? Now, like I said in that video, there are two possibilities. They didn't decide not to blow up all four. Or one of the charges on that pipeline failed, and that now leaves evidence behind, and maybe the Swedish people or somebody else went down there and removed that explosive devices, which would have been a giveaway. Now, that would have been evidence, and from that evidence, you could have determined who was the culprit. But none of that information is available. Nobody states anything about that. I have also said that they will probably find out who did it. Even the Russians will find that out. But we as a population will we ever know about it. And I don't think we will ever know who the culprits are. Now, I also don't agree, before I actually proceed, the Germans have said that they are focusing that the Russians did it. Now, if you do an investigation and you're not neutral but biased already, that there is some culprit, then you're going to overlook a lot of evidence and you're going to miss a lot of clues, and every day you will be unsuccessful in any case. Because if the Russians didn't do it, then there will be no evidence that shows that they have done it. So I'm not totally sure what is Alex and Alexander actually saying. But if I missed that article, then I apologize for that. But I cannot find any article that states that Germany knows. But let's assume that they are correct, and Germany does know. Then they provide these narratives or assumptions or whatever you want to call it, that either these politicians are or investigators are threatened personally, in their personal capacity, not to divulge who was the culprit, and their lives would even be taken, which are, that's really far-fetched. We are not talking about fantasy, non-fiction, or fictional spy story. Because in the real life, there's such a thing as a James Bond. Spies are not killed in mass as we always read in these fictional books, like Alistair MacLean and whatever. In any case, so I don't know how they come to that conclusion. But if they were, Germany were told by the, which they also insinuate, that the culprits actually informed Germany, and everybody's talking about Americans. Well, I'm not totally so sure that it was the Americans. There's a high probability, but there's no conclusive evidence for that. And there are possible other culprits that can benefit from the situation. So, you know, in any case, if I was a culprit, and say I was America, I could have told Germany, or Olaf Scholz, listen here, Olaf, you know, you had some problems at home, and it looked like your people is going to insist on restarting or actually approving Nord Stream 2 in order to solve the energy crisis, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on you. So I thought I'll give you, I'll do you a favor. I'll blow up the pipelines, and you can have plausible deniability, and at the end of the fact, I will take all your troubles away. Then all I would have said, oh, okay, yeah, but what am I going to do with my people and all the other stuff and so on and so on and so on. So I would have said to Olaf, listen here, we have to show unity in Europe. We cannot go onto each other. We have to show unity and that we support each other, and we are going against Putin because Putin at the end of the day is a huge threat to the security of not only Europe, but Germany especially. Oh, Olaf said, that would sound a little bit more reasonable. Okay, I can understand it. I'm not happy about the whole matter, but I can understand your argument. So, let's move forward. That might have been a possible conversation, but I doubt whether that conversation has taken place. So I'm sorry to say, but these guys are currently getting weirder and weirder and weirder and making assumptions, and which I cannot see what is the grounds for or what is the basis for these arguments. It's nice to tell stories. It's nice to make conspiracy theories. It's nice to speculate. But they are not supposed to be like this. Are they not some of the most watched, influential videos producers or podcasts and so on the internet at this stage? So they have a form of responsibility to their viewers. And what they are doing at this stage is, no, can't agree with that. You can have a watch yourself at the link provided. And as we have stated in the previous video as well, that the destruction of Europe is not beneficial for America. Europe is part of America, is part of the West. And having one of your partners in a weak position makes no sense. You need the support and the strong companions in order to defend yourself against a new multipolar world. If America loses Europe, what then? Then it becomes a burden to America. Doesn't matter how you look at it. And this feeble argument that, yeah, but then they can sell American gas, freedom molecules at a huge profit to Europe. That's also a fallacy. We all know, and I've talked about it, that the fracking industry is coming to an end. And there's even talk in America that they're not going to export some of the gas and rather keep it for themselves. And what are Europe then going to do? And then, you know, so there's inflation in Europe and an energy crisis in Europe and so on. But so is that in America. America has also huge inflation. And because of their own deindustrialization, they have supply chain problems and, well, how do you say, goods shortages. And I mean, they had a baby formula shortage. And there was something else that I can't now remember, but they also had a shortage of something else. I don't know why all these narratives are so simplified of a very complex situation. And it's easy to make these statements, which are grasped from the air, and it's very exciting to listen to, but it's far from the truth. Hyping up people and so on, making jokes. And I'm talking about the pro-Russian punters as well. It's not only those two. You got to look at it a little bit more, deeper, not the superficial type of views. And ask the questions. Because if you don't ask the questions, which you surely must arise, because if you look at the narrative, you will always find that there is some there's always something lacking. What about this? What about that? What about this? Why is this that? Why is that so? Do you really think these guys are so stupid? These guys are not stupid. They are just a little bit blind, maybe, due to their ideological views, their indoctrination, or they believe people what they are told, or they are encircled by people that speak a specific narrative, and then they have no choice because that's a limit of their knowledge. So why would they believe something else if the answers are always provided? So I don't know why the pro-Russian punters are always underestimating the West. In any case, this was a short video. I can go on and on and on about what they said, but no, I reject that whole video from the start to the beginning, from the beginning till the end. And I'm not going to discuss every fine in detail because, in my opinion, it's just pure junk. So if you listen, like what you listened, or like what you heard, and you want to hear some more, subscribe to the channel. And I will discuss future videos of other people as well. Because at the end of the day, you have to learn to ask the questions yourself and not believe everything that is being told. And just remember, it is a lot more complex than what everybody tries to make. So until next time, cheers.